Hi days. In the last class, we have started our chapter, the reproductive health. There we studied various reproductive and child health care programs. Okay, RCH programs we have studied, and we know that there is the incidence of increased population growth rate in our nation. Okay, and there are some methods to check this type of increased population growth rate. Okay, one of the most important measure is the introduction of the contraceptive methods. Okay, so what is meant by these contraceptive methods? Okay, so we're going to study about the contraceptive methods, the various types of contraceptive methods. Okay, so here, so what is a contraceptive method? It's a method, or it's a particular kind of measure to check the unwanted pregnancies, to avoid unwanted pregnancies. Okay, so there are a number of different kinds of these contraceptive methods are available nowadays. Okay, so we must know that what are the basic features of an ideal contraceptive. Okay, so what are the basic features, basic characters of an ideal contraceptive? Okay, so let's look here. An ideal contraceptive, it should be user friendly. Okay, a contraceptive, if it is ideal, it should be what? It should be user friendly. Then it should be easily available. It should be available to the public. It should be available, easily available to the user who need it. Okay, so it should be user friendly. Then what? It should be easily available. Okay, then it must be effective. Okay, the contraceptive, it should be effective. Okay, then it should be effective as well as what? It must have least or no side effects. Okay, then there should be no interference. It should not interfere with the sexual urge of the user. Okay, this type of contraceptive, it should not interfere with the reproductive health of the user. Okay, it should not interfere with the sexual urge of the user. So these are the basic characters that is ideal to a contraceptive. Okay, so what is a contraceptive? It is a measure used to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Okay, so these are the basic characters of an ideal contraceptive. So now let's learn about what are these different types of contraceptives. There are different types of contraceptive methods. So let's first look at here the first method, the natural method, or the traditional method. It works on the principle of the avoiding chances of meeting of sperm and ovum. That avoids the chances of meeting of sperm and ovum. Okay, so under this there are different methods. Okay, the first one is periodic abstinence. That means here the couple avoid sexual intercourse. Here the couple avoid coitus or sexual intercourse during the day 10 to 17, the day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle. That means that is the fertile period. So by avoiding sexual intercourse during this time, that is 10 to 17th day of menstruation. So that's the fertile period. So by avoiding the sexual contact, that means that the coitus, by avoiding coitus during that time, the conception can be easily prevented. Okay, the couples can be easily prevented what? Conception. So that is known as what? The periodic abstinence. Okay. The next one is coitus interrupts. The coitus interrupts. Here, the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation. Okay, just before ejaculation, the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina. Okay, and this is one of the oldest method of the birth control. Okay, so that is known as what? Coitus interrupts. Okay, the next one is what? Lactational amenorrhea. That means just after the parturition, there is absence of what? Menstruation. That is known as amenorrhea. Okay, the intense lactation that prevents conception. The intense lactation prevents conception. The parturition is followed by intense lactation, and that prevents conception. Okay, but here it may be effective for just 6 months after parturition. Okay, so we have just discussed what? The natural or traditional methods of contraception. So that here periodic abstinence, coitus interrupts, and lactational amenorrhea. Okay, so now we are going to the next method. The next method is by using barriers. Okay, these are some physical barriers. Okay, and it works on the principle that here the sperm and ova, which are prevented from meeting physically. Okay, these are prevented from meeting by using some barriers. One of the most common barriers that uses are condoms. These are available for males and females. And it's made up of rubber or latex sheath, and it can be easily inserted. It can easily cover the penis. Okay, so before sexual act, these condoms can be used. Okay, and it prevent after ejaculation. After ejaculation, the semen may be collected in these condoms. Okay. Then there is diaphragms, cervical cap, and vault. Diaphragms, cervical caps, and vault. These are used in the female reproductive tract. It covers the cervix, and it prevents the entry of sperms through the cervix. Okay, so in the female tract, mainly this type of barriers are used. That is what? Diaphragms, cervical caps, vault. These are some of the barriers used in the female reproductive tract. And here these condoms, which can be easily inserted, and it gives privacy for the user. It also provides privacy for the user. Okay, and to increase the contraceptive efficiency, of these barriers, some type of spermicidal creams or jellies or foams are also applied with this type of barriers. It may increase the contraceptive effectiveness. Okay, the effectiveness of these contraceptives, that is these barriers, can be increased by applying these type of spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams. Okay, and which act as this type of spermicidal creams, it can kill the sperms. This consists of sperm killing agents are there in these spermicidal creams or jellies or foams. So these are usually these are applying with these barriers. Okay, now we are going to the next type of contraceptive method. Now we are moving to the next type of contraceptive method. Okay, there is IUDs or intrauterine devices. Okay, this is one of the most commonly used contraceptive method in India. Okay, so that is what intrauterine devices. As the name indicates, these are a kind of devices and which are inserted in the uterus. Which are inserted by the doctors through the vagina in the uterus. Okay, so these are intrauterine devices. Okay, and the reactions, that means here they increase this type of devices. This increase the phagocytosis of the sperms. They kill the sperms. This is phagocytosis of the sperms. It increases the phagocytosis of the sperms in the uterus. Okay, and these type of devices are inserted in the uterus. Okay, then it suppresses the sperm motility. The mobility of the sperms can be suppressed by using this type of devices. Okay, and it make this type of devices that makes the cervix hostile to the sperm. It makes cervix hostile to the sperm. Then it also makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. Okay, it makes uterus unsuitable for implantation. So these are the common actions of these different types of what? Intrauterine devices. These are devices inserted by an expert doctor or nurse in the uterus of the female through the vagina. So these are devices. And these are some of the actions of these devices, intrauterine devices. It may have different shapes. So depending upon the shapes, there are different types of intrauterine devices. Okay, they may be non-medicated intrauterine devices or copper releasing intrauterine devices or hormone releasing intrauterine devices. The lipus loop, it is a type of non-medicated intrauterine device. Then copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. These are what? Copper releasing IUDs. This type of IUDs, they have an action here in this cervix. They make the cervix hostile to the sperm. Okay. Then hormone releasing. LNG20 is a hormone releasing IUD. Okay. So some type of IUDs. Okay. These are some examples for what? These intrauterine devices. So these are all the collective actions of these intrauterine devices. Okay. So now we are moving to some other type of contraceptive method. Okay, here comes the contraceptive pills. These are tablets. Okay, these are that contraceptive pills. Okay, these are oral administration of some doses, very small doses of progestogen or progestogen estrogen combination. Either it is taken as progestogen or progestogen with estrogen combination that can be used by the females. Okay, it is taken in the form of tablets, so it is known as pills. It's taken orally. Okay, and its action is that it inhibits ovulation and implantation. Okay, so this is the action of this type of contraceptive pills. These are taken orally by the females, and it has to be taken for a period of 21 days. Okay, just after the 5th day of the menstrual cycle, for up to 21 days it has to be taken. One of the most important, most common contraceptive pill is that we have discussed in the last class, that is Saheli. Okay, and Mala D is another type of contraceptive pill, and this Saheli has to be taken weekly. Melody is a daily tablet, daily pill. Okay, and this is taken by the female, and it is one of the most well accepted. This well accepted by the females, and it has less side effects, and it is highly effective. Okay, this contraceptive pills are highly effective. It has very less side effects, and it is well accepted by the females. Okay. Then this combination, that is progesterone or progesterone estrogen combination, that can be used also in the form of injections or implants under the skin. Okay, the same thing that can be used in the form of what? Injection or implants under the skin. Okay, under the skin, in the upper arm, mainly in the upper arm, under the skin. That is known as what? Implants or injections. Okay, the action is almost similar to these contraceptive pills. That is that inhibit ovulation and implantation. Let's move to the surgical methods. The last type, that is surgical method. It's a permanent method, or it is the terminal method. Okay, to prevent any more pregnancies. It's a terminal method, and it may be vasectomy or tubectomy. So, vasectomy, it is the surgical removal of a small part of vas deferens in males. So, in tubectomy, it is the surgical removal of a part of fallopian tube in females. So, here the main principle is that it blocks the transport of the gametes. Okay. It blocks the transport of the gamete. That is the main principle here. So, in vasectomy, that means what? The surgical removal of a part of vas deferens in males. And tubectomy is the surgical removal of a part of fallopian tube in the female. So it's a permanent method, the terminal method to a terminal method. Okay. So that is the surgical methods. Okay. So we have discussed different types of what? The contraceptive methods. Some it may be traditional method, or barriers, then IUDs, then surgical method, then what? These contraceptive pills, injections or implants. So there are a wide variety of contraceptive methods are available today. Okay. So when we are choosing this type of contraceptive methods, before choosing, we must consult a doctor. Okay. A professional has to be consulted. We must seek some advice from a professional. Okay. And we know that this type of contraceptive method, it is useful to check the uncontrolled population. Okay. So it's a useful tool. Okay. It's a method. Okay. So for now today, we're going to conclude this section. Okay, so far we have discussed the different types of what? Contraceptive methods. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you may just go through your textbook. There you can see some more points can be seen there. You read it. Okay, then if you find any difficulty, you may call me or you can message me, and you are always welcome. Anytime you can call me or message me. Okay, and now we are going to conclude this. Okay, thank you dears, and bye.